him, Trump slammed Netanyahu in interview and said the Israeli Prime Minister did not want to make peace. In an interview with Axios' Barak Ravid, Trump added that in his view, Netanyahu did not want to make peace in the Middle East.
Both sides, to make a deal, have to want to make it. First thing you have to ask, do they both want to make it? I have a real question as to whether or not both sides wants to make it. I have a real question as to one side in particular, whether or not they want to make it. I think one side actually would like a deal, and I think the other one maybe doesn't want a deal. But a lot will have to do with Israel.
I still like Bibi. But I also like loyalty, Trump told Ravid. The first person to congratulate Biden was Bibi. And not only did he congratulate him, he did it on tape. I haven't spoken to him since, Trump added. F him.
And after meeting with Bibi for 3 minutes, I looked at him and said, "You don't want to make a deal, do you?" And he said, "Well, and the fact is, I don't think Bibi ever wanted to make a deal."
Why?
I thought the Palestinians were impossible, and the Israelis would do anything to make peace and a deal. I found that not to be true. I think one side actually would like a deal, and I think the other one maybe doesn't want a deal. But a lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal. I thought he wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu. And I will be honest, I had a great meeting with him, Abbas. And it was almost like a father. I mean, he was so nice. Couldn't have been nicer.
Mahmoud Abbas is the president of the Palestinian Authority, the governing body that exercises partial control over the West Bank. Abbas is a member of the Fatah Party, a group that has had ongoing conflict with Hamas. And to talk more about all of this, we are joined by Grant Rumley. He's the co-author of The Last Palestinian, The Rise and Reign of Mahmoud Abbas.
Representative of the Palestinians, and what Hamas is doing doesn't speak for the Palestinians, but the backlash was so severe and immediate at home that he had to walk it back.
Do you have a sense right now who might be the next logical leader for the Palestinian Authority? Abbas is 87 years old at this point.
This is sort of one of the big critiques of Abbas and his tenure as president, is that you can't easily identify a next generation of leaders underneath him. And in fact, anytime someone would emerge who may, sort of have some charisma or gravitas or potential, he would very quickly isolate them and sort of push them to the sides, push them to the margins. And so there is no real clear successor here, and that's one of the major issues facing the Palestinians, the Israelis, other countries in the region, the U.S. and the international community.
What are your biggest questions at this tense moment where we see the conflict escalating? We see more and more of it playing out, not just in Gaza, but the West Bank as well. What are you going to be looking at over the coming weeks?
The thing that I'm probably most worried about and what I'd be watching most closely is, what is the state of the Palestinian security forces and the security coordination with Israel? For all the criticisms you can throw at Abbas, and there are plenty, he has been committed to security and stability in the West Bank and security coordination with Israel. He came to power being the guy within the Palestinian leadership who was against violence and terror. He was campaigning against the Second Intifada and warning the other leaders that this is what would set the movement back. And so if this war is to drag on and if tensions are to rise in the West Bank, that's sort of an issue that could then exacerbate tensions and unfortunately could open up even more tragic events. And so that's probably the issue that I'm most closely concerned about now.
That's Grant Rumley, a senior fellow at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.